Hello everyone, कैसे हैं आप सभी? Welcome to the channel. So today we are going to start our next chapter in our series of Polity through MCQ series, and these MCQs are directly based on the book M. Laxmikanth. Now, our today's chapter is Vice President. So before starting the chapter, I'll give you a bit of the explanation so that आपका revision अच्छे से हो जाए, and then we will proceed to the questions of this chapter. Now, the Vice President occupies the second highest position in the office just after the President. Now, this office of the Vice President is based on the American Vice President post. The Indian President is like the American Vice President, but there are two basic differences. Now, the first difference is whenever in the American Constitution, whenever the office of the President gets vacant, then the Vice President automatically becomes the President. ठीक है, Vice President automatically becomes the President and remains in the tenure for the rest of the time. But in the Indian Vice President, this is not the case. The Vice President holds the office of the President only till the vacancy is there in the office, or the President is not able to do the work, or there is the vacancy or resignation. So till the vacancy of the President's office, till then only the Vice President of India holds the office. Now let us start with the manner of the elections of the Vice President. So the Vice President of the country is elected by indirect elections. Now this indirect elections includes the member of both houses of the parliament. Now you will have to note a basic point here, that the elections of Vice President is different to that of the President. Now, how is it different? It is different because in the elections of Vice President, both elected as well as nominated members of the parliament, gives vote, whereas in the election of the President, only the elected member plays a role in the election. There is no role of the nominated member. Okay, the second point is, in the elections of the Vice President, the members of the state legislative assembly are not given any importance, or these do not participate, whereas we have seen in the elections of the President, the elected members of the state legislative assemblies actively participate. So this is the basic difference that you need to know. Now, the system of proportional representation by the means of single transferable vote is the way in which the elections happen, and this is the same as the President, as we have studied in the earlier lecture. Okay, now what should be the qualifications of the Vice President? First of all, he should be a citizen of India. Then 35 years of age he should be. Then he should be qualified for election as a member of Rajya Sabha. And if you remember, when I talked about the President of the country, the President should be qualified for the elections as a member of the Lok Sabha. ठीक है, President should be eligible to qualify as election for Lok Sabha, whereas Vice President का he should be qualified for election as a member of Rajya Sabha. ठीक है, and fourth point is, he should not hold any office of profit. This is the next point. ठीक है, now the oath of the Vice President is administered by the President. The normal tenure of the Vice President is around 5 years. This you need to know. Also, as like the President of India के against, as we have studied कि impeachment का process लाया जा सकता है, there is a formal process for the impeachment of the President. ठीक है, for not abiding the Constitution. No such formal impeachment is there for the Vice President. Vice President can be removed by the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha passes a resolution by the special majority. You need to remember this. The Rajya Sabha has to pass the resolution by special majority, and Lok Sabha just उसको agree कर देता है अगर simple majority से. So the vice president will stand removed. ठीक है, तो the main point is to be noted that the constitution does not mention any special formal provision for the removal of the vice president. Okay, next is the vice president can continue to hold office beyond the terms of 5 years until his or her successor holds the office. ठीक है, this is the another important point. Also, I have already told you, when there is vacancy in that office of president, the vice president acts as the president until his successor comes for the post of president. ठीक है. Now, what if there is dispute regarding the elections of the president? So the final decision is to be made by Supreme Court. There is here you need to note a point that the Supreme Court is responsible as the final authority regarding the elections dispute of president as well as vice president. ठीक है. This is another important point. Now, what are the powers of the vice president? He acts as the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha, and इसी से आप ये समझ लो कि the salary given to the vice president is on the lieu as the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. ठीक है, no special provision is there in the constitution to give a separate payment or separate salary to vice president. He earns his salary as the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. And secondly, he or she acts as the president during the vacancy of the office. I hope the things are clear now. Let us straight away move to the questions. बाकी के points अगर आते हैं तो we will discuss it here. Now, the Constitution of India provides that the Vice President of India shall be ex officio chairman of the Council of States, that is Rajya Sabha. Absolutely true. अभी बताया मैंने आपको. Now, the second thing is the Constitution of India has not fixed any emoluments for the Vice President of India in that capacity. The statement is absolutely true. The Vice President gets the salary and emoluments as the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. ठीक है. I hope that this point is clear now. One का correct answer would be both 1 and 2. Now, starting with the second question is, the Vice President of India may be removed from his office by a resolution of the Council passed by a majority of all then members of the Council and agreed to it by the House of People. Absolutely correct statement है. Next is an election to fill a vacancy caused by the expiration of the term of office of Vice President shall be completed before the expiration of term. Yes, Vice President के expiration कि टेन्योर के एक्सपायरेशन से पहले द इलेक्शन टू फिल इज वैकेंसी हैज़ टू बी डन. थर्ड इज द वाइस प्रेसिडेंट शैल नॉट विथस्टैंडिंग द एक्सपायरेशन ऑफ हिज टर्म कंटिन्यू टू होल्ड ऑफिस अंटिल हिज सक्सेसर एंटर्स अपॉन हिज ऑफिस. आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू दिस. The vice president can continue to hold his or her office beyond the term of 5 years until his or her successor holds the office. Okay. So all of the given statement here are correct. Correct answer is 1, 2 and 3. Now, the vice president is elected by an electoral college consisting of, so this is a simple question I guess. It has the members of both houses of the parliament. ठीक है, elected members of the house of parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and elected members from the legislative assembly of the states. ये elected members का role होता है in the elections of the president. Also, a point here to be noted that vice president के election पे both nominated as well as elected दोनों members होते हैं. So यहाँ पे all members हो गए. ठीक है, that is why 3 का A is the right answer. Let's now move to the next question. Which of the following statement is or are correct with regard to the Vice President of India? Now, he must be a member of parliament. Is this statement true? Not at all. In the qualification section, I already told you the Vice President should be eligible to be a member of the Rajya Sabha. Member of parliament नहीं, parliament में तो लोक सभा भी आता है. But special qualification है, he should be qualified to be a member of the Rajya Sabha. The first statement is absolutely incorrect here. ठीक है. Second is he is elected by proportional representation. Yes, by the means of single transferable vote. ठीक है. The second statement is correct. Third is he should not hold any office of office. Yes, this is the fourth condition that I mentioned. ठीक है. सेकेंड एंड थर्ड स्टेटमेंट हमारा करेक्ट है. सो द करेक्ट आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन वुड बी 2 and 3. I hope the things after explanation part are clear to you. Now, this question is of assertion and reason. A candidate for vice president must be qualified for election as a member of Rajya Sabha. Absolutely true statement. We have seen this in the condition. The vice president function as the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Absolutely true. The reason correctly gives the assertion part, and the assertion is directly linked to the reason. That is why both A and R are individually true, and R is the correct explanation of A, as I have already explained. Now next is the Vice President of India may be removed from his office by an impeachment. अब मुझे बताओ, is there any formal process for the impeachment of Vice President? No. Constitution does not mention any formal process for the impeachment. Second, a resolution passed by the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha with a two-third majority? Not at all. This is absolutely wrong. Rajya Sabha passes the resolution by simple majority. ठीक है? And Lok Sabha generally अगर agree कर जाता है, then the vice president shall stand impeached. A resolution passed with a two-third majority in a joint session? नहीं, joint session की तो कोई बात ही नहीं है. The joint session of the joint sitting of the parliament is done under article 108 regarding ordinary laws, and finance bill under section 117 subsection 1. Okay, ये आगे पढ़ेंगे हम. A resolution passed by Rajya Sabha with simple majority and agreed to by a majority of members of Lok Sabha. Yes, D is the correct option here. 6 का D is right. Now let's move to the next question. Question number 7. Now, which one of the following statement is not correct? We have to highlight the non-correct statement here. The first one is the Vice President of India holds office for a period of 5 years. Yes, the statement is true. The Vice President of India is eligible for elections. Yes, and he can be selected or elected n number of times. ठीक है, any number of time he can be elected. So he is eligible for the re-election. Now, the Vice President of India can act as the President only for a maximum period of 9 months. No, not at all. Maximum tenure होगा भी तो 6 months का होगा, या until the President resumes his or her office. So the C statement is also incorrect. Next is the Supreme Court of India has to look into all disputes with regard to the elections of Vice President. Absolutely correct है. The Supreme Court is responsible and acts as a final authority for determining the election disputes regarding the office of Vice President as well as President. Okay, so D is the right answer. Now next question is about the assertion and reason. During any period when the Vice President of India acts as the President of India or discharges the function of the President, he continues to perform the duties of the office of the Chairman of the Council of the States. The statement is absolutely incorrect. Whenever Vice President acts as the President of the country, any other member which is elected by the members of Rajya Sabha at that time. देखो, अगर Vice President है, let me talk about the Council of States. Let me make you explain this. Vice President is the ex officio chairman. Then comes the deputy chairman, ठीक है, of Rajya Sabha. Vice President is the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, and then there are other members of the Rajya Sabha. If the Vice President acts as the President, then the deputy chairman of the Rajya Sabha acts as the chairman. और अगर मान लो deputy chairman भी नहीं है, तो then the members of the Rajya Sabha decides who is going to be the chairman. Okay, so ये याद रखना. Vice President does not act as the ex officio chairman, that is ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha, when he holds the office of the Vice President. So assertion is absolutely wrong. Next is the Vice President of India is the ex officio chairman of the Council of States. Absolutely correct statement है. तो हमारा D is a false statement, but reason हमारा R is absolutely true. Next question is the Vice President of India can resign from his office at any time by addressing the resignation letter to. So I already told you who administers the oath of Vice President. President तो administer करते हैं oath. तो जब oath president हमारे oath जो है वो ओथ को एडमिनिस्टर करते हैं, देन इफ़ द वाइस प्रेसिडेंट रिजाइंस, वो किसको करेंगे, प्रेसिडेंट को ही तो रिजाइन करेंगे। सो हमारा प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज द करेक्ट आंसर। नाउ नेक्स्ट इज question number 10. No grounds has been mentioned in the constitution for the removal of the vice president. Absolutely correct. There is no formal impeachment process for the vice president. तो correct statement है। No resolution for the removal of the vice president can be moved unless at least of 21 days advance notice has been given. तो 21 डेज़ का एडवांस नोटिस दिया जाता है? नो, 21 डेज़ का नहीं, 14 डेज़ के अराउंड का नोटिस दिया जाता है, नॉट 21 डेज़। दैट इज़ वाई हमारा 10 का बी इज़ द इनकरेक्ट। यहाँ पे हमारा 10 का ए इज़ द ओनली करेक्ट ऑप्शन है। नाउ विद दिस वी आर डन विद द चैप्टर ऑफ वाइस प्रेसिडेंट। आई होप कि वीडियो अच्छी लगी होगी आपको। डू लाइक दिस वीडियो, कमेंट सेक्शन में बताना कि वीडियो कैसी लगी। टिल देन, थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग।